way. Paul Lee is top 5 also in terms of steals. He's at number 6 in steals. As we look at our smart instant replay, we're helping sports. The double, the takeaway.
Yep. Good help there by Paul Lee, playing cat and mouse double team, but when the ball is there, he'll take a swipe at it. And I wonder how tired Rabah Al-Husseini is already. He's had 6 attempts and a lot of touches of that ball in barely 5 minutes gone by.
A lot of running too, TJ.
Yep.
Paul Lee puts his head down. We draw the foul from Jai Reyes with 4:19 to play. 14-8 is the score. Paul Lee coming off the bench today. As you look at the rest of the UE bunch, you see Hubalde, you see James Yap, Paul Antadi. Something that they've never been able to achieve is win a title for UE, and a push at Kurt Long on the receiving Paul Lee.
So that puts Ateneo in the penalty now. From then on, you'll see free throws for UE in this quarter, as 4 out of the 5 Ateneo players have 1 foul each.
4:15 remaining in the first, and an electric Araneta Coliseum. Espiritu. Acuna, never bashful to shoot a 3. That's short. Kurt Long sends it to Baclao. Baclao could not handle the heat on that pass.
And I'm looking at Coach Sharma. Blackie is not at all disappointed with that effort. He likes the way Ateneo is aggressive to run today. Just a little bit too much mustard on that one.
Smart instant replay, we're helping sports. That is, by the way, the second turnover for Ateneo already. 5 on UE, 10 on the 24. Paul Lee fades away. That's a tough shot, and it rattles out. Good defense by Kurt Long. Running the other side, Jai Reyes. All the way!
Wow. Look at that. How rare do you see that? Jai Reyes taken all the way to the basket against the big guys of UE.
One of those players graduating, playing his last UAAP game. Paul Lee, top of the circle, 3, that's short. He is 1 out of 12 from beyond the arc in this series, TJ. Reyes sets up Rabah. That was too low, I think, for Rabah. And he says it too. Here come the shock troopers now for the Blue Eagles. Nico Salva, Baco Nostria for Salamat, and Baclao at the 3:16 mark. Ateneo shooting at 57%. We're taking a timeout with Samsung Imagination Lives. Watching us live on Studio 23, and of course the replays on Balls Channel 34. And it is available in high definition for the very first time in history. This coverage of the finals is available in high definition on Sky Cable 166 Balls HD. The Vice President is among the crowd that is here, celebrities and politicians that have gathered here at the Araneta Coliseum. Turnover number 3 for Ateneo. Paul Lee goes straight away.
Careless inbound play there by Ateneo. Straight into the hands of Paul Lee.
And that breaks the spell.
Right.
UE has not made a basket since 8:20 of this first quarter.
That was an 8-0 run by Ateneo.
Jai sends it to Kurt. This is a spot that Al-Husseini loves. He called back.
And there's a foul to boot. And I don't know if he's going to get a warning for this. Did he taunt Parallagas with that pistol move?
I don't think it was seen by any of the referees. He has something to say also to Parallagas.
Another famous UE alumni is in the house.
Robert Jaworski with us right now. Just arrived. Senator Jinggoy, of course, with us also here in attendance in this mammoth crowd, enjoying Sudden Death Thursday. And Rabah Al-Husseini, 4 out of 7 from the field. And right now, 9 points. 19-10, that is the lead. The 9 points of Rabah Al-Husseini. Patty thought about it, top of the circle, being taunted by Rabah. Tough turnaround by Elmer. And Elmer has missed.
That was beautiful defense there by Nico Salva, reading the play and reading the move of Elmer Espiritu.
Baco Nostria back to Jai. Jai inside to Rabah. Cannot finish. Llagas taps it out. Here come the Red Warriors. They don't have the numbers though, but Paul Lee says, I don't care.
They'll find a way to break through the smallest of creases.
Wow.
amongst 4 blue shirts.
Incredible shot by Paul Lee. Raba again, 5 out of 8 from the field by the last year's MVP. And even Enrico Villanueva's impressed.
5 out of 8. 8 attempts already for Raba Al-Husseini. That's a lot, considering in game number 2, he only had 11 attempts. So you're going to watch out for his fatigue factor here.
9-point lead still. 8 seconds. Acuna for 3, that's short. Salva with his first rebound of the game. Jai has not also rested. Here is Nico underneath, trapped. Kick it out to Backlund. Backlund finds Jai. Jai from the corner court. That's short. Great challenge by Paul Lee. He closed out on that one.
Good extension there of that zone defense of UE. They were tight inside, and they extended quickly on the shooter.
Patty asking for it. Raba is breathing hard. Patty looking to bounce at the fatigue. Patty puts it up. No acting jobs will be credited today by the referees, not in the sudden death ballgame.
Not in a move like that.
No flopping as Jai all alone for the 3. Nothing there. Teams are starting to miss now, TJ.
Minsan, nakakailan pa yung ganun eh. You're all alone, wide open, and nobody even cares to go right at you.
Espiritu with an aggressive move.
And more than that, you could see how tired Raba Al-Husseini is. Not only did he not jump to challenge that shot, he did not even put a hand up to challenge that layup of Elmer Espiritu. So you're seeing Raba with 9.5 solid minutes here in the first quarter.
2 out of 5 from the field for Elmer. And Raba continues to ask for it. Raba free for a minute, for a second rather. Raba forces that one, asking for a foul. 16 seconds remaining. Paul Lee with a spectacular move. The bang in the bucket from the former San Sebastian star.
What a move, breaking it down behind the back and getting it up and over Nico Salva after the bump.
This is a one-man trip, DJ. This was the one earlier, a Caltex fast break. Caltex with the unbeatable cleaning power of Techron. Here's the other one. Behind the back, the hang time move off the glass. He goes window shopping. And he is 3 out of 5 from the field and cuts the lead down to 5, 21-16. You know, UE is 5, or make that 6 out of 17. While Al-Husseini, all on his lonesome, is already 5 out of 10, DJ.
Wow,
from
10
the field.
shots already. And folks, it's no joke to take 10 shots. And that's why he's getting a well-deserved rest right now.
Against double teams, fine, right?
Against triple, double teams, exactly.
5 seconds remaining. The pocket rocket is in. Cannot finish the play. Takes the ball away, but will run out of time. And after the first 10 minutes of game number 3, Ateneo is on top, 21-17. The biggest lead of the ball game for them was 9. But Paul Lee and the rest of the UE Red Warriors making a little chase to end the first quarter.
Can he duplicate his uncle's feat?
Talking about June Reyes, of course, from that 1987-88 team. As Ryan Buenafe starts the second quarter with a classic double clutch move. And he's one of those players that are being questioned coming into game number 3, where he's at. Him and Eric Salamat, last year's Rookie of the Year, made a major impact against La Salle in the finals last year, but so far this year has been absent.
Well, he did a lot of that last year, but it's been far and few this year so far in this final series in terms of being a factor for last year's Rookie of the Year, Ryan Buenafe.
Tokyo, Holy Cow play of the game. Big beefy goodness in 3 flavors. Holy Cow, Tokyo beef bowls. They're dedicating this season to James Martinez, talking about UE, who got injured. He injured his ACL prior to the start of the season. And if I may repeat the conversation that I had, he was saddened about the injury, not just because, wanting to play, but he wanted to play for this coach and for this specific, or with this specific team, because he felt good about it. He felt they had what it took to go to the finals and maybe win it all. So he's in attendance. Salva against Paul Lee.
Good challenge there by Paul Lee, standing his ground, not going for a block and not going for a steal, just giving his body.
Paul Lee scored the last 7 points, DJ, of the first quarter for UE. Palayagas, that will not count. Yes, it was downstairs.
Coach Norman Black is livid with the guys on the floor for not boxing out He felt that they played good enough defense to challenge that layup of Paul Lee, but then they should have gotten that defensive rebound.
Let's go to Jessica Mendoza and find out what else happening from that side. Go ahead, Jen.
Boom, barely any smile has been cracked on the faces of the Blue Eagles since they stepped on the court. A testament to the determination with which they are set to defend the championship today. They listened attentively as Coach Norman Black reminded them to always keep a lookout for the open man. Don't force your shots if you don't have to, he told them. Also, Boom, Coach Norman is not as happy with his boys running now as he was in the early minutes of the game. He told them you gotta be ready to move your feet, put more energy on defense, and above all, stay in front of your man. Boom and TJ.
Well, they did try to stay in front of Elmer Espiritu, but he still made the fadeaway as Eric Salamat knocking down his first triple
Of the series.
of the
In any
series.
finals, probably.
He's 0 out of 8 coming into this game, and he knocks down and sends it home. And the lead again is 7. Paul Lee from way out. That is way short as Baclao tracks it down. 1-4. Salamat begging for the ball. Salamat finding a crease. Unable to put it in though. Baclao dribbles out of trouble and then goes back. Llagas was there to bother him. Elmer Espiritu able to get the rebound.
You know, one thing we noticed also in the first quarter when Ateneo was able to hold on to the lead, the guards of UE, their hustle was not yet a factor. And as I say so, we get another guy
From
off
the bench, Flores for the very first time in the finals, sticking it back to cut the lead down to 5. Let's go to Tiff Atendido from UE.
Yes, Boom. Unlike games 1 and 2, Union obviously a lot more fans today, and the boys are very inspired and excited to play for them. But they were reminded that if there is anything that they have to prove, it's just themselves that they can do it. Now back to the ball game, coach emphasized on shot selection. Pasensya lang, forget the numbers, forget the stats. We're not all emotions, we also have the smarts. Boom and TJ.
Thank you very much for the Samson courtside update, Tiff. A foul with 8 seconds to shoot. Barry Llagas, one of those graduating students. Open Happiness with this reaction. And Coca-Cola, Open Happiness. That is already his career high in the finals. 5 points for Eric Salamat.
There you go. And after that, he created an opportunity for his teammates. Drive and drop inside to Nico Salva for the easy layup.
Raba is back in. Substitution delivered to us by KFC. It's finger looking good. Eric Salamat commits a foul on the steal attempt.
That's going to be foul number 2. So let's see if this could slow him down.
Second personal, as you mentioned. 7:19 to play. 7-point lead. Here's Paul Lee, and that's
Good
the
call.
strip.
You saw it on the wrist right there, on the right wrist of Paul Lee.
Smart instant replay. We're helping sports. Kita yung slap on the wrist. And Salamat now sits on the bench. Jeffrey Long back in the lineup for the Blue Eagles. Espiritu shakes off the sign. He wants Nonoy Baclao 1-on-1. Elmer goes hard against the number 2 shot blocker of the league.
And that is not easy to do. As you know, Nonoy Baclao will stay right with you all the way to the basket.
7:03. But that's part of your keys to winning, DJ.
Taking it hard to the paint, challenging the Ateneo Bigs to foul trouble.
Elmer not even challenging that 3-point attempt. Elmer lagging behind now in this ball game. 6:48 to play. Llagas picking up the loose ball. Nothing there, and Baclao and Paul Lee. 28-23 is the score. 5-point lead with 6:42 remaining here in the first half. Let's look at this tussle for the loose ball. 13 minutes for Elmer Espiritu, as we saw on our Smart Instant Replay. We're helping sports. Espiritu playing, like I said, 13 minutes in this game, and now the legs are disappearing. You can see it in the game. This is what we saw in game number 1.
He's only sat down for a minute or 2 so far today. In game number 1,
he hasn't sat down.
He hasn't sat down. Okay. All right. So extended minutes so far for Elmer Espiritu.
And that was key in their game to win as Jai misses this one. Oh, look at that. Don't tell me this is not sudden death. Jairo Flores reacting. Ryan Buenafe reacting. Baclao keeping everybody aside. Again, we mentioned in the pregame, whoever channels his emotions or their emotions correctly in this series might have the edge. Both of them really aggressive, not wanting to give way. And kudos to referee Marabe right there.
The official call is a jump ball. No foul was called, so it's going to be...
Possession arrow.
Oh, wait a second. Or is there a foul?
Let's check.
Looks like the foul's on Flores if they're going to give free throws to Buenafe.
Coach Lawrence Johnson begging for a jump situation. This is game number 3. Best of 3 finals. The UAAP, both of them get a warning, TJ.
Both of them.
Jump ball. It's a jump ball situation.
All right. So it was sticking with that call on the jump ball and possession arrow pointing to Ateneo, so they retain possession, but with a fresh shot clock.
5-point lead. Ateneo's led most of the way as Jai puts up the 3. That's short. Jai also playing heavy minutes here in this game so far. Paul Lee stepping to the hole
And still saving enough energy till the very last moment for that jump against Kirk Long.
Incredible move by Paul Lee. Under 6 to play. Baclao had Espiritu on him. Buenafe could not finish, but a foul on Elmer Espiritu. And for E squared, as they call him, that's his second personal.
And you like that if you're Ateneo. You like the hustle shown by Ryan Buenafe, especially the guards and the wing guys. They have been out-hustled in both games, even though they won game number 1. UE's guards were out-hustling them, so you like that sign shown by the guys off the bench for the Eagles.
Smart instant replay showing you that one. Let's go to a timeout with Samsung. Imagination lives. Back with you here for more of the UAP on Studio 23. Tip-to-top player matchup by Selecta Corneto. Tip-to-top setup.
Very interesting matchup indeed. Araba Aluceni going up against Parillagas, and especially now with the way Raba played extended and aggressive and intense minutes in the first quarter. Can he sustain his energy, especially on defense?
And he's with us from the UE side. And he couldn't get tickets, he said, for games 1 and 2. Alan Kaidig. The wife Minette is here earlier. Boise Samar, part of the last champion team from the UE Red Warriors in 1985. Ryan Buenafe on the line. By the way, the warnings earlier were given to Buenafe and Rafi Reyes and
Not
Jairo
Flores. Okay.
Mr. MVP.
And of course, Smartitas head coach, Raiko Toroman, and our friend Made the Chupa.
Looking on with under 6 minutes to play in the first half. Missed free throw. Free throw attempts, 2 out of 7 for Ateneo. UE has only had 1, and they made that one. The lead is 4 now. UE hanging around. Patty looking at the friend, Paul Lee, looking to cut. Ball fades away. No. And Duran taps it away.
Good help defense there from the weak side of Ateneo as the UE tried again to beat them backdoor. Similar to what they did in game 2, the big men would hold the ball from the outside and try to pass to the small men cutting inside.
Great drive! Bang in the bucket! Ryan Buenafe on Patty Llagas.
And the kid who has probably the least hang time amongst the athletic players in Ateneo.
Look at the strut of Ryan Buenafe. Let's look at this. Dismantling 3 defenders. Oh, he had him already, but just upper body strength drilling that basket in. Ryan Buenafe on a strong power move brought to you by PS Bank. Simple lang maaasahan. 2 out of 3 from the field. This guy is imperative for Ateneo, for him to show up.
That is big so far. His contributions today
6 points.
are big. The combined contributions, 11 points from him and Eric Salama.
That's right. Great point, DJ. In the meantime, as lead again is back to 7. A little bit of sluggishness in the UE side right now. I think they're relying on Paul Lee too much. 3 seconds, Paul Lee ending up with a tough shot. And Baclao was all over that. That free-flowing offense was non-existent.
Not flowing. Yep, no ball movement there. Only Paul Lee, look out.
Oh! Kirk Long could not will that ball in from the other side.
Could have brought it down though and set himself up for an easy layup, but he wanted to go for the fancy one.
Balacuña Things slowing down here from the UE side. Paul Lee, spin cycle. Great anticipation by Nonoy Baclao. Jai, able to get out of jail. Raba, we haven't heard from him in a long time, and another bang in the bucket situation.
And he says hello to Duran, who had nothing else to do but foul him. Nice, again, dump pass by Jai Reyes. He has had 3 or 4 crucial assists to the trailers of the fast break. Great decision-making so far by the veteran, Dynamite.
4th assist. That's the 4th one. Brought to you by PS Bank. Simple lang, maaasahan. And Raba Aluseni, 6 out of 12 from the field. 13 points. And it stays at 13. This lead is up to 9, once again matching the biggest lead of the game.
So Jai may not have had a 3-pointer yet. He hasn't exploded offensively in terms of his own points, but he has created some opportunities for his teammates.
Liagas from 3. UE starting to struggle here, DJ. Buenafe, Kurt Long all the way to the other side. No. Liagas, no hit. Nope. Did not establish position at the time. And now, Elmer Espiritu had to be brought back in now for Erwin Duran because UE is coming unglued so far here in the second quarter.
You know, Boom, Ateneo in game number 2, they only had 9 fast break attempts and only 8 fast break points. And today you're seeing a much quicker Ateneo team and really attacking more in the fast break.
Buenafe thought about it with under 4 minutes to play. Baclao asking for it against Espiritu. Long, court 3. Gets it to go! And that's the biggest lead of the ball game.
7 points now for Kirk Long. So the other guys who have not been factors in games 1 and 2, Long with 7 points, Buenafe with 6 points, Eric Salamat with 5. A total of 18 points for those wingmen of Coach Norman Black.
Valacuña is rejected by Nonoy Baclao. Jai, looking for a friend or looking for the basket?
Oh, man.
14-point lead.
What a move by Jai Reyes. Not very familiar territory, but creating space inside and getting away.
3 minutes remaining here in the first half. It's a big juggernaut for the defending champions. They're looking to drop the hammer early. It is an 11-0 run. And you know, DJ, I was about to say, or we said earlier, nothing is floating in the offense of UE. And proof of that, as a blocking foul is called on Paul Lee, the 7 assists of Ateneo, only 1 for UE in this game.
That is a good indication in terms of the numbers. Ateneo really sharing the ball, moving it around, very patient, looking for the best opportunities possible. In stark contrast, it's like day and night. UE, they're back to their ways of nagkakanya-kanya, and they're missing so far.
Alaksan FR 3-point shot, body paint kahit saan. Agad kalabang Alaksan FR. Timeout with Samsung, imagination lives.
Can they win title number 5?
Larry Fonachel, Magnum Membrere, all part of the former Ateneo Blue Eagles. In attendance here at the Araneta Coliseum, we are experiencing an 11-0 run by the Blue Eagles. Mr. Jeffrey Cariaso, also on your screens, enjoying the action, and he told me that.
His first
time in the UAP.
Live.
His own words, he says it's awesome. And it's awesome to have you with us, Jeff. The co-host of the radio show. 2:36 remaining here. Last basket of UE was 6:04 on that drive by Paul Lee.
Right.
And again, you know, you go back, if you're UE, if you're a fan of UE, you're concerned with the lack of movement, which they showed so much in game number 2.
Right.
They had 8 assists by the halftime, TJ, in game number 2. Today, they only have 1, as we mentioned earlier. It doesn't help that they're not connecting from the outside.
You really also have to credit the defense of Ateneo, denying them the easy looks. They've had to force a lot of attempts.
Kurt Long, Raba has conserved a little bit of his energy here in the second quarter.
He knows he can't take all the shots. Trying to set up his other teammates.
And look at this, Jai Reyes on his way dismissing all the defenders on the Powerade Sports Drink Hyperplay of the quarter. Drink up, power up. Sports is what you make it.
That's going to be the third foul of Buddy Llagas, who has not been an offensive factor today. 0 points so far for the guy who was 8 out of 11 in game number 2.
Jai Reyes, one of those graduating students, hoping to graduate with another title, not just with a title, but with another title. With 1:48 to play, 39-25 is the score. Here, winding down the first half. The UE side, a little stunned with what has happened. 3 fouls on Llagas, 2 fouls on Espiritu, 2 fouls on Rafi Reyes. A winner in the juniors division. Championship last year for Giants. Looking for another one this year. Now the bench.
Wow, really digging deep is Coach Lawrence Chongson.
For the very first time, they bring in Ayala into the ballgame. First time in the series.
Yep. He didn't even play the Final Four even.
Against FEU, by the way, where UE beat FEU twice. Espiritu missing. 1:31.
UE has really gone cold here in the second half, in the second quarter.
And again, no ball movement. It's one pass, one shot. That's not how they won game number 2. Buenafe inside. Graba unable to finish that one, and Lady Luck not smiling on UE as they tap that out. It's Derek Ramsey. Beside him is my partner also in radio. It's Mia, if I
That's
may mention.
Mia.
That's Mia.
Yeah, that's right. That's Mia.
Eric Reyes, Paulo Bijones. Eric Reyes also in that 1988 team.
That's right.
With Danny Francisco, that front line. Megan Young, my co-host in the cheer dance competition.
You got sharp eyes, dude. Everybody they show up on screen takes half a second for you. Good job. Your field percentage is very high.
All my co-hosts are here. Jeff, Mia, and Megan. Kurt Long for 3, that's short. And Ayala with a rebound. UE behind by 15 here in this game. Remember, they won big in game number 2 by 20 points. Acuna, another 3. And another miss. 2 out of 14, TJ, from beyond the arc. At 14% shooting from 3. Graba misses. They're lucky that Ateneo's not making the last couple of shots.
Even the X Factors have not gone the way of UE. I have not seen a single guard get an offensive rebound for UE today.
That's a great point. As Paul Lee makes it 2 out of 15 from beyond the arc, and UE has been scoreless for more than 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
It's been a 19-8 scoring quarter. 19 points by Ateneo, only 8 for UE.
4 seconds left. They set up Baclao from the corner. No. That would have been big.
That would have been
very
huge.
painful for UE.
Absolutely. It opened up an 18-point lead, but nonetheless, Ateneo should be more than happy with his 15-point balls going to halftime. But more than that, it's the quality of defense that they're playing on the UE Red Warriors today.
Babel Battalion for the halftime show, courtesy of Samsung. With Samsung, imagination lives. Stay tuned. Game 3 of the finals of your UAAP season 72 will be back only here on Studio 23.
Welcome to Sudden Death Thursday here at the Araneta Coliseum. We are a couple of minutes away from the third quarter. Ateneo ahead by 15. That, my friends, is the biggest lead for the ball game for the Ateneo Blue Eagles over the UE Red Warriors. As both teams take a break, so can you have McDonald's delivered right to your doorstep. It was a horrible second quarter for the UE Red Warriors, a quarter that they'd rather forget execution-wise or anything else that happened. In the meantime, get superior hydration only from Gatorade. Again, Boom Gonzalez together with DJ Manotoc for ABS-CBN Sports. Game number 3, the winner-take-all match between ABMU and UE in the second quarter. Ended badly for the UE Red Warriors, who were scoreless for more than half of that quarter. Their field goal percentage way down, and Ateneo taking advantage of it.
It was a 12-0 run for Ateneo that did a great job on both ends of the floor. They denied the penetrations of UE, they denied them any easy looks, and on the other end, they were the ones scoring at will. Looking at the halftime stats, 40% field goal shooting for Ateneo, not that as high as UE shot in game number 2, where they dominated at 52%, but they're holding down UE to only 29%, and this is more of Ateneo's kind of a game. They are the best defensive team in the league.
That's right.
And showing it again today. Assists, they've only allowed 1 assist for UE. On the other hand, they've had 7 inside points. Total dominance, 30-16 is the lead of the Eagles in that category, and keeping the ball in their hands, taking care of it. Only 3 turnovers for Ateneo as compared to 6 for the Red Warriors.
5 of those turnovers in the first quarter, and what brought the percentage down was the 15% shooting from beyond the arc for UE. Let's see if they bounce back in the third quarter. We'll be back, and we'll see you on the other side. We're back here at the Mammoth Crowd at the Araneta Coliseum, the UE Pep squad performing the last few minutes. A chance here before we get things going here in the third quarter. By the way, here's the blurb. It's catch the UAAP basketball players together with our courtside reporters in Chalk Fashion Rocks on November 7 around 6 p.m. at the White Space Makati. Be part of this event and do your share in helping the Typhoon Ondoy victims. Buy a Chalk magazine during the event, and all proceeds will be donated to ABS-CBN's Sagip Kapamilya. For more information, please visit www.chalkmagazine.multiply.com. I believe I will be hosting that with Mr. Gino Rufino. In the meantime, at the end of the festivities today, of course, we will have a champion, and the champion will receive championship rings from Silverworks. There's no substitutes. And now the UE Pep squad making their exit as we are seconds away from the third quarter. Also, it's time to lend our support to Kapit Bisig para sa Ilog Pasig, the river rehabilitation project of ABS-CBN Foundation. Let us together text Give Ilog and send to 2366. Thank you, because your contribution will go a long way in achieving our dream of a clean river. Sa ating pagkakapit Bisig, mabubuhay na muli ang Ilog Pasig. TJ, concern here, the bench of Ateneo outscoring UE, and not only just outscoring, the ones who were, sleeping through games number 1 and 2
have woken up.
Yep, Eric Salamat, Ryan Buenafe.
And Kirk Long also becoming offensive factors today, especially Kirk Long. It's always a bonus when you get a bunch of points from him, because more than anything, they really rely on him defensively. But they've been trying to work on his shooting confidence, because sometimes he passes up on open shots. I notice specifically assistant coach Sandy Respacochaga always getting on the case of Kirk Long. Do not pass up that shot. If it's kicked out to you and you're wide open, you take it, you drain it, because they do believe in his shooting abilities, and it's a matter of him believing that it's a good shot to take. I don't think Kirk believes he's not a good shooter. It's sometimes he doubts if it's a good shot in the system right at that moment.
I think It's exactly what he told me. That's exactly what he told me. All right, more on that later. Let's go to Jessica Mendoza first and find out what happened at halftime. Go ahead, Jen.
Every point is going to count, including free throws. Now, these are words of wisdom coming from Coach Norman Black as he told the team to take their time at the foul line. In terms of offense now, the Blue Eagles need to keep the ball moving. Don't be afraid to pass, Coach Norman told the bigs, assuring them that they will get the chance to score as long as they remain patient. Now, as for the boys themselves, they punctuated the end of halftime with shouts of encouragement like, let's go, once in a lifetime lang ang back-to-back, and this is it. Boom and TJ.
Thanks for the Samsung courtside update. Jessica Mendoza from the Ateneo side. We begin the third quarter with UE again down 15 points, 40-25. With 13% shooting from beyond the arc for the UE Red Warriors in that first half. And I just do not see the same energy right now.
Right.
It concerns me, and I'm sure it concerns all the UE fans, that in a game number 3 where if we can take off from Jessica Mendoza's report, every point, every possession, every little detail, every ounce of energy matters in this next 20 minutes.
And there's a difference. I mean, some might argue you can never count UE out. Oh, man, look at that booming, looping three-pointer.
Yeah, the sky ball.
Yeah, he had to put it that high above Raba Al-Husseini. But the difference today, you can never count UE out, yes, because they've come back from bigger leads. But in those games that they've come back from bigger leads, they've had a lot of intensity and desire and fire. It's just so different today.
I mean, game number 2 was just an incredible display of intensity for UE. Now, they have to dig deep here. Down to 12, though, after that booming triple by Elmer Espiritu. Failed attempt for UE. Let's go to Tiff Atenida for another Samsung courtside update.
Boom, there were a lot of serious faces in the dugout earlier. The whole team, not just coach, was frustrated with their very bad shot selection. Said we cannot live and play only with 3-point shot attempts. Look for the chance to drive and penetrate. We are playing too slow. Do not watch them when they have the ball and execute on your defensive assignments. It ended with a visit with former Red Warrior and Senator Robert Jaworski. He said, it's not how you started, but how you ended.